Well, you said the Young Thug is trying to remove Gunna from YSL.
Yeah.
And there is a new song with Young Thug featuring Future on Money on Money, where he said, these fucking N-words tell him for nothing. I gotta be the one calling them friend. What's funny is that me and Lil Woody actually had a conversation this morning, and he quoted that because he felt it was about him. And I'm like, I think it's about Gunna. He goes, well, I don't think anyone knows. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who do you think that was about? I mean, it sounds like Gunna to me.
I think Gunna.
Yeah.
Because just the mere fact he says telling for nothing. Man, Gunna ain't had nothing to do with nothing in that case.
Well, yeah, in fact.
Woody was shooting niggas.
Right.
He told for a reason. He told for a reason.
Right. And in fact.
A lot of people believe that Gunna was going to be okay if he just kept quiet.
Right. Because, but Young Thug essentially took the same deal that Gunna took. He admitted that YSL is a gang.
Nah, he didn't do that. Nope, he didn't do that.
He did it?
Mm-mm. Nope. He made no admissions. None. Not one. It was made clear. I watched that thing. He said, my client will not make any admissions. He wouldn't even there was even no...
Young Thug plea deal involved pleading guilty to gang, drug, and gun charges.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that YSL is a gang. It means that he was operating in a gang. By the way, go back and watch that. You'll see I'm right. There was a whole session before the judge gave her a ruling where there was two things with the gang. He only would admit that some of his behavior constituted crimes that could be seen as gang-related crimes, but he wouldn't plead guilty to being the leader of a criminal street gang. What does that mean, and why do I think that happened then? Because it killed. If he had pled guilty to the second or the latter, that he was the leader, it opens him to all type of liability in civil cases. And Brian Steele was very clear that we're not pleading guilty to that. We'll do nolo contendere, but we're not going to admit to any of those things. So yeah, he never said YSL was a gang. Like that was in a plea deal, you have to say what you're actually pleading guilty to and give what they call a summary of events, or you have to state the factual events of what that's involved in this plea, which means it'd be like, hey, on Thursday, May 2nd, I was driving on this road and I ran the red light. You usually got to do that, even in traffic court. That's the same way in criminal court. That's why when Gunna took an Alford plea, I'm pleading guilty to these things and I'm admitting, based on the plea, that YSL's a gang, this and third. He had to say that. Thug didn't. So basically, Thug kind of got the same plea without having to make those statements, but if you read between the lines, it's kind of like he almost did. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, y'all niggas went out for gang charges.